Achinana musanzu katonyeze mwenda. Voice of Kamwenge Radio engamba marungi.
Nitandika n'uburuka sheshe kandi tuguma twine okurabo muyihanga umwaba kandi no mumajingo ga nyikiro manye nituguma niwe kandi tutukakurugaho.
Voice of Kamwenge. Ejini program Youth Talk ahachinana na musanzu katonyeze mwenda. Voice of Kamwenge uhurichiriza.
Voice of Kamwenge reading Mama Ronji. Welcome to some other episode of the Youth Talk Show. My name is Mr. Vibes Live. It's a cool Sunday afternoon. We have taken a visit to St Thomas Aquinas College School in Kamwenge. It is located in Chitonzi Ward in Kamwenge Town Council. And it is where we are today on the Youth Talk Show. We have taken some other discussion to students of that school. And today we are talking to candidate classes, Senior 4 and Senior 6, for those students who are going to sit for their UCE and USCE exams at St Thomas Aquinas College School in Kamwenge. Today, we are looking at the performance of students. We have, celebrated St Thomas for some good years, for the good performance. For around 7-8 years, the school topping charts in Kamwenge, majorly Greater Kamwenge with the Chitagwenda inclusive. And for some other years, 3 or 4, topping Rwenzori Region in the academic excellence. Students at both O and A level performing very well in UCE and USCE exams. We are looking at performance. What drives students to perform this very way? And it is basically what we are looking at today on the Youth Talk Show. We are starting with students of Senior 6. What is your name? Where do you come from? And which combination do you carry?
My name is Twina Regius. I come from Ibanda, Ishongoro Sub-County, and I offer MEG ICT.
You offer MEG and ICT. Mm. How is studying at St. Thomas looking like, especially in days like today?
These days, studying is okay. Maybe minus we were from lockdown, we are still affected a little bit there and there, but we are trying to pick up, and I see we are now ready for UNEB.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, you're studying in a school that performs very well in the district and in the region. Share with us, what has the administration and maybe your teachers done to, let the performance be like the way it is?
So at St. Thomas, we have our own cultures. We have the consultation there, so they always give us consultation forms. Mm. The other thing, they bring facilitators, those experts from UNEB, and they help us to pass through this. Mm. The other thing, as students also have self-esteem, we want to defend our school fees. It was increased. Mm. So what we do, we read hard, and that's what is helping us pass.
Okay.
Yes.
Most of the students, maybe in other schools, they look at that consultation. They have tests. They have the classwork. They look at it as a burden from the school, and it has resulted to some other issues in different schools. Because it is becoming a burden. How about you here?
Actually, it had created some chaos among students, but later the school administration explained to us the advantages of these consultations, and we looked into it. It was like it's a positive thing, and students here have picked, and they like it because it bridges students to the teachers.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, those are teachers and the administration. You in Kamwenge, what have you done kujirangu at least or contributing performing kwa Kamwenge? And you're in Senior 6, you're waiting for your USCE exams.
So, above the school timetable, I create my own time, especially after preps. I get some extension, and I see this is helping me. The other thing, I don't engage in these peer groups. I am myself, and most of my time is used in books.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, do you have hopes of maybe continuing to raise the school's flag high, especially in terms of performance?
Yeah, I have it because in future when you're outside there and you hear your school is improving there and there, you also feel proud. So my prayer is it continues to excel. There's on top of us, they also exceed and we shall exceed like the others have been exceeding.
Your candidates who are going to sit for your exams, your final exams after lockdown, you are impacted with some other content for senior 5 that you didn't cover when you were in lockdown because you were automatically promoted. Are you completely ready to face UNEB exams?
Truly, we are not ready. But most of us, we have this thinking that UNEB might be simple. But we are trying and the teachers are trying such that we can cover the senior 5 syllabus and the one of senior 6.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Your names?
My name is Rwenzori Region.
Atwine Aloysius from Ishongoro Sub-County in Ibanda. Thank you very much. What's your name, madam?
My name is Katsime Fiona, Form 6 Sciences, offering PAM/ICT.
You're offering Sciences, PAM/ICT. Do you have hopes of passing and raising the school's flag high?
Yeah, the hopes are there and we shall make it.
Where do you get that confidence?
Because what I'm seeing, the teachers are teaching to their expectations. Because, for example, I think the administration, for example, our HM is bringing some teachers from those schools from Central. That's something good, and those teachers can impact something which is very important in us.
What are other roles the school administration is playing to keep the performance at its best?
For example, the library is well equipped with enough books. So whenever I go to the library, I get anything I feel like using in my revision. Yeah.
Most of the students be complaining that the school is bringing a lot of content on their heads. Maybe they want you to be in class. After classes, you should be in class. You should be doing a test. You should be consulting. How about that? Most of you guys came from lockdown when you were used of luxury life. Aren't you facing hard time in, getting to classwork and whatever the school needs?
Yeah, at first we were affected, but by now I assure you that we are getting back to normal and everything is going on smoothly, so the teachers can impact notes on us, yes. But that thing is so important so that we can read and get something to do during our examinations.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Now, to you as a student, what are you doing that you feel will help you to pass your exams and continue, putting this school at its level?
Yeah, me as a student, for example, our timetable can teach even in prep. Then after prep, I create my own time. I revise even up to like 2, so that I can go and sleep like for only 1 hour. Because I know after my senior 6, I'm there to sleep and sleep. So I use this time to revise.
Where do you get confidence that after senior 6 you sleep and sleep?
Yeah, I know after my senior 6, by then in vacation, I won't be having anything to disturb me like books, like what. I will use that time, which I used during my revision, and sleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Now, do you see hopes of, passing your exams and, being like those old students of yours who passed exams and they are either at the university and they are, doing very well?
Yeah, I have the hopes, because, for example, in a term, we can do like 10 sets, and those sets, whenever they bring them back, they give us a revision. And I want to assure you that when you do something in class, like for 70 times and like 10 times, when you go in an exam, for sure you can't forget each and everything. You can remember something.
Okay. Thank you very much. Your names?
Katsime Fiona.
Yeah, thank you very much, Katusime. It is Voice of Kamwenge. You're listening to the Youth Talk Show. My name is Mr. Vibes Live. In case you're joining us, we are at St Thomas Aquinas College, Kamwenge. It is a school that has been topping charts in Kamwenge district, in Greater Kamwenge, and in Rwenzori Region. especially on the performance issue of their students in both O and A level, and it is where we are. In case you're a student and maybe tokumanyebi okwabana bari kore bigezo bakahikaje, you can borrow a leaf. What's your name, boss?
My name is Mugume Darius, offering PEM stroke ICT. I come from Ngani Kamwenge, Nyabani.
You're from Ngani Kamwenge in Nyabani, Chitagwenda. How is school times at St Thomas Aquinas College?
At St Thomas, I think everything that concerns with academics is moving smoothly. Why do I say this? We are given time to do everything that concerns our academics, whereby we are being given teachers who gives us confidence and hopes that we shall pass. And also our teachers are helping us to make more revisions through consultations, whereby we are given consultation forms that gives us morale and motivate us to revise and consult them. Yes.
What happens at St. Thomas that makes you feel maybe the administration has done this to this school and I should stay here? It is where I will get what I want.
What gives us morale is the teachers that we have. Some of our teachers some of them are examiners who always come and give us hopes of passing. And also these teachers have helped us catch up with the syllabus with other schools where we think that we can compete with, especially those schools from Central. Also these teachers that we have helped us in the way that they come in class, they give us questions, then later these questions we try them as students, then later they help us by passing through. Yes.
Okay. Now, in Kamwenge, what are you contributing to your own performance? For example, if you're looking at maybe getting 20 points or 18 and the government takes you like it has taken some other students, what are you doing to make you achieve that?
Me as a student, I've created my own time and we have made discussion groups as students, especially to us, we science students. We meet during our extensions. We create that time, we revise the topics, we revise the enable questions, and we get used to questions such that by the time we reach that time of doing enable, we are used to these questions and we are ready to attack them. Yes.
You even attack questions, eh?
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Voice of Kamwenge Redenga Mama Runzi. It is still the Youth Talk Show, and we are at St Thomas Aquinas College, Kamwenge. It is where we are doing all this from. What's your name?
My name is Kabalund Emily, offering Leg Submath from Kamwenge.
Leg Submath.
Yeah.
Leg has literature and
economics, geography, and submath.
Okay. So, how is life at St Thomas Aquinas College?
Well, I can say it's fantastic. Considering the academic stuff, it's going on well. For example, now, as you've told us, as you've told the people that we've been leading all the way through from 2018, I think I'm hoping that it will continue, because I have a belief that no rest is worth anything unless that rest is earned.
Okay.
Yeah.
People are looking at, the movement of performance from bottom to up. Are you very ready to challenge those students who performed very well, especially last year and the past years the school has been leading?
Well, you see, when they pass, they motivate us, and we hope we can do better than them. Because when they were there, they're also hoping to be better than those ones that were behind them. So I believe, I know you can't do everything at once, but you can do something. So personally, I believe I will do better.
Okay.
And I'm doing my best.
What is giving you confidence that you can do better than those who performed very well?
Well, following years, right now, this year, for example, discussions have sparkled off, and the teachers are doing their best to complete the syllabuses. In fact, we candidates, we've completed, though we had the COVID counter, but we've completed.
Okay.
The discussions have sparkled off, and more so, the consultation forms has done more of a good than bad. For example, now, when I saw you coming, I was from consulting actually. Yeah.
Okay. Now, most of the students we have talked to, especially in candidate classes, they have fear that because they were automatically promoted, content is too much. Maybe UNEB will set some things they didn't cover. and they are likely to fail because of fear. How about you at St. Thomas?
Well, I don't think I have that fear because the administration and the school puts an effort. For example, we are doing exams. Like candidates rest like for 5 days or a week, then we do another set, which means that this will help us to stabilize the mind academically. That we will keep on track. They bring mocks from different schools, from teachers from different schools, which means they are summing up the knowledge, capping it all for us to pass.
Okay.
Yep.
What do you think the administration and maybe your teachers are doing to keep the pace of performance at this school, especially in your year, the year you're going to sit for your exams?
Well, I think they are doing their best. As I've told you, they are completing the syllabus, and most importantly, they are inspiration speakers to us. For example, they speak to us because I don't think it's only the knowledge in class that will help us prosper. They also give us some advice so that we can bloom.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you very much. Do you feel the performance of the previous students of this school, those who sat for exams and were, dominating charts in Rwenzori Region, do you feel you have guts of overperforming, beating them, especially in performance?
Yeah. You mean the other schools or these ones? Obviously. Okay. How can you I have
They
to
are
believe
children,
in my no, I don't think I don't have to belittle them, but I also have to believe in myself. I have tested my seatbelt for bumpy nights.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. It is St Thomas Aquinas College, Kamwenge. We are talking to their candidate students about the performance of the school. What happened specifically at this school that maybe brings up the good performance? When we get back, we have more for you. We'll be talking to students from senior 4, Rwenzori Region, how the school is treating them, and all that happens at St Thomas, especially in O level.
Kinana mshanju katonyeze munda ibanda igana katonyeze itano irakaria Kamwenge Region Babarunji
Mwami wanje yira kweterereze ineshonga zanje yira ozetojereze ebyamakanga bukore no bichenga ebitwara gine you remember ebyabandinga bizira nyawani ntonda.
Voice of Kamwenge reading a Mama Ronji Ninkwenda is a song from Pretty Imak. It is playing at exactly 38 after 2 p.m. in the afternoon. It is the Youth Talk Show. My name is Mr. Vibes Live. We are still doing this from St Thomas Aquinas College, Kamwenge. And specifically it is where we are doing all this from. How you doing? My staff teachers, and the non-teaching staff of St. Thomas Aquinas College. I see you. You're relaxed a bit. It's a Sunday, but some other people are seriously, doing classwork because, most of these students were automatically promoted. So I'm ashamed of Guinea Kubaba who serious. Ujirango, by the end of the year, especially for candidates, they have achieved something from their UCE and USE exams. We're getting to a break. Twagaruka ntuzakugumizamu turukugana nabijabu tuinaha. It is Voice of Kamwenge. I am the Radio King. Yeah. How you doing, students in Senior 1, Senior 2, Senior 3, Senior 4? Well, have you guys in A level? You're bossing. You joined the A level and you feel, I am at the center of everything. How you doing, Senior 5 students of St. Thomas? And the candidates at the peak of secondary level, the Senior 6 students. Thank you very much for listening to the radio. How you doing, Anthony Assassina? You're on the radio. Thank you. There's a teacher called Mushabe. He's also on the radio. How you doing, Maurice Kajim? How you doing, teacher Jonan? Yes. And you know what it is. Later on, I have seen the head teacher around. We'll be talking to him. Nawat Shuburiri. But of course, we're still talking to the students. We're getting back. It is Voice of Kamwenge. I am the Radio King.
Ejini program Youth Talk ahachinana na mshanzu katonyeze mwenda Voice of Kamwenge uhurichiriza.
Welcome Welcome from the break. It is still Voice of Kamwenge. You're on the Youth Talk Show. My name is Mr. Vibes Live. We're still at St Thomas Aquinas College, Kamwenge, and we're talking to students about the performance. What brings up the performance of students at this school? From the beginning, I told you St Thomas Aquinas College has been leading in Rwenzori Region and in Kamwenge district for some good years. And we are looking at what happens at the school that, brings up this performance. We are talking to you. What's your name? Where do you come from?
My name is Navasadan. I come from Chitagwenda, Chitwamba, and I'm in senior 4.
You're from Chitwamba, Chitagwenda. Yes. You jumped schools in Chitwamba, in Ntara, you jumped in Nyabani, you're in Kamwenge. Where is the problem?
No, yourself. Of course, you have to look for something that can help you. So I saw that this school, maybe it is the one that can help me better than the others.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you decided to come here. What is happening at St. Thomas? How are you looking at St. Thomas environment, especially relating it to performance?
The conditions are very good and so favorable. We are doing better, mostly like in coverage of the syllabuses, in all subjects, trying to catch up here and there. As we had jumped some of the classes, it's like we are from senior 2 to senior 4. And you see jumping the whole year and you are a candidate, you are ready to do exams. You see that one was a big challenge. But for me, I'm thanking our teachers who are trying very much to see that we have covered some of the syllabuses, and so far as I'm talking, we have already done so. Though some subjects are still lacking, but so far so good where we are seeing some hopes in the future.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were automatically promoted. You jumped content for senior 3. What has the administration done to at least keep you to the pace of senior 4 and you be ready for your exams?
Yeah, now you see this school is somehow advanced, as I may talk. So our teachers, they go to the secretary and prepare some handouts, that is like copying some notes of the topics, and they submit them to our classes. Then we as students, we start copying them up at a high speed. Then after, the teacher comes and explains. So you see that one will provide some time. Instead of a teacher coming to class dictating you writing, you will take much time, but when you copy, you will copy on that pressure that the teacher wants the work. In so doing, you finish very quickly. Then the teacher comes and explains that topic, it gets over. He gives you another topic, you also copy. You go on like that, so you find that you are almost covering like the work you are supposed to cover in the whole term. You are covering it like maybe in the whole month, and yet the whole time is for 3 months. It means that those 2 months are provided to do other works.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then you're leaving a university student when you're in senior 4.
Now that was an effect of COVID. You will see COVID affected us. For example, as I'm talking, I am supposed to be in senior 5, planning to also finish the following year, but you see, I'm still here just struggling with books.
So in senior 5, you can't struggle with books?
You will struggle, but at least you will be looking for something big, not like the one we are struggling for at this time.
Why are you not leaving it and you opt for some other things that are good?
No. Yes, some things that are good are there, but considering the Uganda of today and where we are going, I think that the one who will be surviving very well, there will be a need of some papers in terms of education. Though, even if you have some money, but when you have not studied so much, you may not use it as it is possible. For example, you see some rich men and women. You see someone is having a lot of money, but is the one who is just wearing shackled clothes and whatever. It means that he's lacking that idea of education. If you pass through the school and you get your money, you can use it efficient, and you see, at least if I have money, let me also wear and I look smart in the community. But you find someone is having money, is the one putting on gumboots and whatever. No. So we are just emanating that thing of ignorance from our heads. And you see, with studying, even if you have 30 years, you can study. Studying does not get off. Even if you are 40, you got the university and study and continue like that.
Now that you have the idea of, the good looking, what is lacking in your life looks to be money.
Money? No, it's not money.
Because you have known when you be rich, you can dress well, look very good. Now you just need money.
No, it's not money only, but also to get out from, this earth is ignorance. When you have studied, at least you can be somebody who understands.
Okay.
You differentiate between the good and the bad.
We have seen what the school has done to keep the performance, to keep you in the hopes of passing your exams. What are you doing as an individual to at least not tarnish the school's name?
There are very few schools that you find that something is compulsory. But here, like waking up for winter and going for evening preps, it's compulsory, though for my have said me for the school's rules and regulations. So it means that I am also trying to help myself, going to revise and working hard, cooperating with my friends, making some group works, as the friends had said. We have some group works. We discuss after prep, we extend like for at least 1.5 hour time. Then we discuss about the things we have not understood very well. And also we try to go for papers in the morning. We do papers in winter. You have to make sure that you have attended to those papers, and you see, for example, when you are reading but not doing papers, you may not discover your potential. You may think that you know things, but in actual sense, when you don't know, but when you attempt to different papers, you discover that you are lacking this side, then you go back and put more efforts in most parts where you have seen that you are not perfect. And also apart from that, I also pray to God, because God is the source of knowledge and wisdom. No, he's not the invigilator, but he is needed maybe for guidance. You may be going astray, for example, in the paper, but when you say, "Oh God, help me," you find you have remembered some of the things that you had forgotten.
So you can even leave reading and concentrate on praying.
No, you see, they say that God helps those who help themselves. So you will not keep on depending on prayer that God will help me. No, you have to also help yourself. Then God comes in where you have failed. Maybe you had read something and it is the same thing appearing in an exam, but you have forgotten. Then you may say, maybe Lord, I have been praying to you, then make me remember this is the real thing I read, but I'm trying to forget. So you help me remember. Then there, within shortest time, maybe if you have been a very good person, you can find that you have put something which is relevant to what they have asked you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Voice of Kamwenge Radio Mama Ronji. We are still at St Thomas Aquinas College, Kamwenge. It is where we are. We are talking to students of the candidate classes about the performance, how the school treats them, especially what causes the better performance that school holds. What's your name? Where do you come from?
My name is Rita from Fort Chenjojo and Kamwenge.
Chenjojo and Kamwenge, the nomadic pastoralist.
No, it seems like I'm a refugee,
Okay.
but my home village is Kamwenge.
So how is life treating you at St Thomas Aquinas College?
It is giving me great experience and great encouragement, through which I'm putting more emphasis on my candidate, concentrating, knowing what's best for me, and not forgetting who I am and where I come from and the reason why I'm at school.
Okay. What is the administration doing to keep you believing that you can pass your exams like those who passed the exams from here and achieve what you've been dreaming for?
First and foremost, our administration is doing a great job. They are giving us advice, which is very important. They are making sure that we don't forget the reason we are at school, and sometimes we forget that we are candidates, and we forget that where we have come from, the things are not good, and we go astray. So they are giving us encouragement not to give up on life.
What extra role maybe has the teachers played, the administration played, so that you believe that you can pass?
The school is giving us a conducive environment to read our books. Same, they are giving us consultation forms. We are consulting. Same also, they are providing us topical tests, of which we do when we end topics, so that we don't forget and we know our area where we fail from.
Okay. So what have you done as a student to keep at the pace, of the school? Because the school is already performing very well outside, and it is upon you as a student to continue performing very well.
I'm making sure that 100% of my time, I get 99% on my books and 1% on my personal life.
Personal life at school?
No, not that kind of personal, like games, leisure time, that's what I mean.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, do you really have hopes that from lockdown and from all that you skipped in senior 3, you'll pass your UCE exams?
Yes, I have hope, because we have already covered all topics, not all, but some topics in holidays. Okay. And the school is providing us new teachers, more of experience than before.
Okay. Thank you very much. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
You're very confident. What's wrong? You're seated as if you have a family.
I know.
So what's your name? Where do you come from?
My name is Joseph Isingoma from Kavuga Town Council, Kamwenge.
Okay.
Yes.
So how is life at St Thomas?
It is good. Yes.
Most of the things at school that cause poor performance of students, one is peer pressure. You engage in kakungu with your fellow student, and you concentrate on things that didn't take you to school. How is your life happening, especially relating to your friends, especially abo murukushomo nabo mu kirasi or mu dormitories?
My life, actually at St. Thomas, I love the culture. Where many of the students have a saying that like they are self-driven and self-motivated. So most of them, yes, we have to make friends, but things concerning with academics, with academic life, at times the friends we have or the friends we make, we create, we actually focus on discussing, and the biggest percentage we give it to academic life.
What is this on you people? You know China,
It is a language on its own.
This is Chinese, eh?
Most likely.
Okay. Now, what has the administration, your teachers played, the role they have played to, give you hopes that maybe you will perform very well in your UNEB exams?
Yeah, maybe as other speakers have said, we have accomplished the syllabi. And maybe what we have to thank for the staff, they have always brought to us experienced teachers. And secondly, have brought back the people we've seen with our own eyes, studying from here. They succeed here, they continue. So those people come back and actually give us the right thing we are searching for. They give us advice. They share with us what they've always done or what they did before as they were still here in order for them to succeed. And the timetable we have, it is good. The timetable is good. The teachers attend. They respect the timetable and they respect each other.
Okay.
That's it.
Some students be complaining that the school has some, principles it is setting that don't favor them as students, and they are not concentrating. They are doing vice versa. How about you? What is specifically happening here that you feel can let you, quit school and maybe join some other schools?
For that case, at St. Thomas, I haven't seen it in many students or in some of the students. For that, this school admits people, I will not say dull, I will not say very bright. But as you enter the school gate, they assure you that you will move out with success. So it's up to you to work hard as teachers help you in order for you to succeed.
During lockdown, you missed some content for senior 3. And by coming back, you moved to senior 4. Don't you feel you missed some, content and it can result to your poor performance?
No, missing I would have missed, but for the case that we've covered the biggest percentage, and the other advantage that we have experienced teachers, those who sit, those who mark, there is no doubt that we shall fail. In fact, we shall pass because we have covered a lot. Yes.
Thank you very much. What's your name, madam?
My name is Jasimile Catherine. I'm from Kahunge Town Council.
Catherine from Kahunge. How is life at St. Thomas?
Life at St. Thomas is good. It's favoring. It is helping us to read our books and know what we want. And at least it is helping us to know how to live with other people in society because we live with very many students.
What is specifically favoring you? Do you get good meals? Do you have the cool environment?
Yes, we get good meals, we have good teachers, we have very good prefects, we have very good support and non-support staff, which is helping us very much to make the school very good.
Okay.
Yes.
I was in your library, and the things that are common on tables, for example, are newspapers. This is not a school of journalism. Why is it specifically that most of the students who come to library, they are looking in newspapers? They used to give out study materials in newspapers. Are they happening even up to today?
Not that much, but you came towards lunchtime, and for O level, most of the classes were having compulsory subjects. And for A level students, I think they were the ones using the library, and for them, they need these newspapers for their GP.
Okay, thank you very much. It's a cool answer from a senior 4 student. Now, what role do you feel the administration is playing to ensure good performance, especially in life of a girl child like you?
The administration has done more good because they have brought more teachers in school, especially the examiners who teach us very well. And again, our teachers around, they're very patient because when we were coming from the lockdown period, we were not that well because our minds, some of us, they were not in school life. We were still thinking about village life, but our teachers have helped us so much. Like when they're in class, they always motivate us to study very hard and become successful like them. Yes, and the other thing, the administration, like most of our teachers, they don't teach the syllabus as like giving us only notes. They give us notes, refer us somewhere, especially they refer us to UNEB. They teach you something, they show you where UNEB has set it or where it appeared in UNEB, and you are also motivated. You think it will happen this year.
Okay.
Yes.
Most of the seriousness that happens, especially in schools, come with heavy punishments, with a very big burden, especially to you students. Oshangangu, you're getting strokes because you have either failed this and that. Aren't you experiencing that?
Of course, when you experience that, you have to know your mistake first before saying that the school is bad or they have punished me, because I don't think they can punish anyone for nothing. And when they punish you as a student, you should always know that you have made a mistake and at least try not to make that mistake again, because they can't punish you for nothing.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Now, what are you doing as a student to ensure that your parents at home who feel they took you to a good school, they will get what they wanted you to get when you're sitting for your exams?
Of course, when I was coming to school, I knew I was coming alone to school. So when I'm at school, I live my life as personal life. I have to read my books, concentrate, consult my teachers, and more especially make friendship with my fellow students, because they are my fellow students. I sleep with them, I stay with them. If I'm not friendly to them, it may be very difficult for me to excel, because they're the ones who give me a conducive environment. And when I lack somewhere, I first run to my fellow students, to my friends, before going to that teacher. So that is what I'm doing as a student, so that I may show my parents that what they took me to school for is what I'm doing.
Okay. We have seen the school in newspapers, we have seen this school on TV, we have read it always on radios, performing very well. For the previous classes, for the previous candidates, for previous students who were here before you, are you ready to outshine all those students?
Of course we are ready, because we trust in God and we know we are going to make it.
Okay.
Yes.
Everyone who trusts in God makes it.
But God is necessary in whatever we are doing.
Okay.
When you trust in God and you put in your efforts as a student and you're supported by your parents and teachers and your fellow colleagues, then you put God first, you know that everything is possible. You make it because God cannot fail you.
Okay. Thank you very much. We are at a school that performs very well in the region. The school is called St Thomas Aquinas College, Kamwenge. and it is a school located in Chitonzi in Kamwenge Town Council, Kamwenge District. It has been performing very well, out competing all the schools in Kamwenge District, in actually Greater Kamwenge and in Rwenzori Region. We are looking at performance of students, what causes all this good performance, so that maybe you can be there and you're also a candidate. You can know how things happen at this school and copy and paste it in your life at the school you attend to, and maybe to some other administrators in other schools. What specifically happens at St. Thomas that you should be doing so that you also maybe reach at the level they are at right now. We'll be talking to the head teacher of this school at Shoborere Wena Kusaka Kodyochi Kudirangwisho Mirugumeni Rukoraje, and actually at the level of St. Thomas Kushangangu nili performing kurunji mnonga than any other school in Rwenzori region. We'll be talking to him. One or two people can get that information and it helps them to also perform very well. It is still Voice of Kamwenge. Voice of Kamwenge reading Mama Lunji. As I had promised you, we are talking to the head teacher of St Thomas Aquinas College, Tugambirisho Mirokuri Emerire, and we'll as well look at the performance of the school, Wenka Administrator Wishomero. How are they achieving this, and how are they ready to maintain the performance?
Thank you, Mr. Vibes. Victor Arnite for St Thomas Aquinas College, Kamwenge.
How is the school status apparently?
Maybe to give it a clear background, or a very brief one, St. Thomas Aquinas College is a day and boarding or an A-level mixed secondary school. It started way back in 2004, meaning that very soon we shall be celebrating 20 years of existence. St. Thomas is built on Catholic Church foundation, so we majorly operate by Catholic Church values, but we don't discriminate on admission. We admit either faith, whether Church of Uganda, whether Muslim, born again. I think even we could be having some pagans. We need to check the records, because at least we try to get such records.
Okay.
It is a school that has very clear and tough supervision, because we report at several levels. We report to the Education Secretariat of the diocese. Sometimes we report directly to the bishop. We have the parish priest who supervises us on behalf of the bishop, and he is designated as the director. We have assistant parish priest who is the school chaplain, and to some extent he supervises the day-to-day running of the activities of the school. Then of course there is the supreme body, the board of governors, and we are also supervised by PTA, Parents Teachers Association. When you look at this now, that is why I wanted to show you, for example, what brings about the results. It is not a one-man job. All these contribute towards the success of the institution. Today, St. Thomas has an enrollment of roughly 600 students. I am a mathematician, so when I use estimates, you don't get worried. And it is almost at a ratio of boy to girl of 1:1, almost 300. Majorly our students are boarding students. I think over 95% of our students, they are boarding students. Majority of these students, they come from Kamwenge district, but necessarily at a distance. So that is why most of them are boarders. They come from far. It is not easy for them to commute back home.
Okay.
Now I come to the core question: how do we perform, and what are we going to do to maintain? St. Thomas, we have been the best institution in the district for the last 7 consecutive years. When you say this, some people will say at some point there was another school, but with all evidence, we have had the biggest number of first grades for some time, for the last 7 years. Our students have been the best on average point at A level. So we have been the best institution in the district for the last 7 consecutive years. Then when it comes to the region, sometimes we have been the best, sometimes other schools come. It has been a win-win situation, but at least at worst we go to position number 3 in the region, but sometimes we are the best. How is this achieved? St. Thomas, the team I lead, the team I work with, the teachers and the non-teaching staff, it is a very committed, highly trained, and I am thankful to the board and the other stakeholders, because I believe they have tried to motivate us, and where it is not our expectation, we have met and we have got explanation from them. So these very good, motivated and hardworking teachers who are highly trained, this is what we do. One, we make sure that the syllabus coverage is 100%. At St. Thomas, we don't spot. We teach everything. And given the environment that we have, St. Thomas is to some extent a big school with some compound, with a playground and all that. So these children, we teach them, we give them enough information as far as syllabus is concerned, but we also give them some ample time to do exercise, and at least the place is spacious, they are not confined. Now, after completing the syllabus, we go on, we have some resource persons. We have some of the teachers who support our system, and they are not full-time employees of St. Thomas, but they always come. We have teachers like we have teachers from some of the good schools, Vumbarara, like one of our teachers, he also works at Intare. Sometimes we have teachers who come from support us, and they have come from Immaculate Heart and some of these other schools. Like of late, we have one of our best teachers, one of our other good teachers in the physics mathematics department. This one comes from Nyawina. He did not apply. We looked for him, and I thank God he accepted to work with us. But of course, it is not very cheap. It becomes a little bit expensive. When somebody has value, the bargain is big. We have some teachers from King's College, Budo, one of our teachers who supports the biology chemistry department. We have another teacher who comes from Barara, also supports the chemistry department. So we don't do it alone. I believe we are competent enough, but we also believe we need to have some other persons who come and they tell us what happens elsewhere. I also want to thank the Ministry of Education and the government, the movement government. This time when we were coming from COVID, after we had spent close to 2 years, everybody was worried because we had stayed with some children in the village. We would see what they were doing. I want to thank the Ministry of Education for the training they gave us, which I can almost call resilience training of handling these boys and girls who had come from COVID. It has helped us a lot, but of course it is still challenging. As you know, in Kamwenge, for example, we have had a wave. Here students here have disturbed, they have disturbed there, and almost with similar reasons. But with the training that we are given, I thank God we have been able to handle. We had the challenge of, for example, our current senior 4 and senior 6, it was automatic promotion.
Yes.
They covered very little in senior 3, and if anything, the senior 6s did not do much at senior 5. So it is very challenging, but as a school, one, we arranged for early beginning of term, which some people can call coaching. We gave a lot of time to the senior 4s, senior 5s, and senior 6s. And as I speak at St. Thomas, we have no complaint. I have not covered much because it was taken care of. And this one gives me confidence that this time round we shall also perform better because we don't have anything to blame now. The only challenge may be from COVID, we have some students who appear they were forced to come back to school. Some wanted to change schools, and others wanted to stop studying completely. We have some examples of some of our boys who have gone and they have married. So these boys, they are doing all it takes sometimes to make sure that they disorganize their colleagues. But with the training that we have as teachers, we are trying to identify these boys and girls, and of course try to help them by career guidance, and where it fails, we are forced to suspend. We have two types of suspension: 1 week, that is definite suspension, but we have also the other suspension where we say go home until when board sits and decides otherwise or confirms, because the head teacher and the disciplinary committee are not mandated by the ministry to give expulsion. So we suspend. When board sits, it can approve or disapprove our decision depending on how we handle.
Now, from lockdown, the candidate classes, with the content they missed in their previous classes, you have packed them with a lot of content for their previous classes, and they have some other lot to cover in their candidate classes. Don't you think it is burdening these students that maybe it can affect their performance?
Thank you. Of course it is a burden. But I have had some parents tell their sons here in office that when you go to school, it is a war. You have a pen and you have the book, so that is, you are in a battlefield. It is like if you are following people and they are ahead of you, of course you must run, and running is tiresome. Anybody would have preferred to walk. So we have given these boys and girls a lot of work. We are encouraging them, like here at St. Thomas, basically in this office. I am trying to handle these children one by one. We meet, I know their challenges, I encourage them, for I don't meet them in class. On top of the time that I give to them on assembly, I call them here and we share on this. Of course, it is burdening. Anybody must appreciate. And it could be one of the reasons, for example, why these boys and girls are becoming violent. They are exhausted. We have given them a lot. That is why even when they mess up, we try to support them. We are not blaming them.
Thank you very much. Voice of Kamwenge, Rwenzori Mama Runji, in case you're on the radio. It is the Youth Talk Show. My name is Mr. Vibes Live. We are at St Thomas Aquinas College and we are talking to the head teacher. We have talked to the students. You have done your role as the administration. Now, the students you're working with to achieve that better performance, how are they?
I think at St. Thomas we are lucky. On average, our students are good. And fortunately, I think a very big number of them come from well-to-do families or average families. So it is not too hard on us. As we are doing this, some parents are also assisting us. Only that, you don't fail to have one or two, in fact a few of them, who you find they are the most educated in the whole clan. So what they say or how they advise their parents, it is what they take. And when you find the person advising the parent is a teenager, of course it is very challenging, but we are trying to handle, and soon we shall have a parents meeting so that we share with our parents so that we can be at the same pace. I am sure we are going to achieve.
You have, challenged all schools in Kamwenge and at some point challenged schools in the region. How are you ready to maintain this, especially from lockdown, when you don't know what is happening in other schools? And students are facing a lot. The school also faced a lot to recover from lockdown.
Thank you. My approach and the approach of this institution is not becoming the best, but it is making sure that we help those ones that we have. Even when we have emerged the best, our effort hasn't been to be better, but has been to make sure that all the students that we have are helped. So we are still using similar or even advanced tricks to making sure that our boys and girls are given all it takes to help them to the next level. So if God will it, then we can even be the best, because we are doing our best anyway.
Now, as we maybe get close to winding up, what is your message to parents, especially those with their students at St Thomas Aquinas College, and maybe to some other parents with their students elsewhere who feel their sons and daughters should pass their exams, especially those in candidate classes?
Thank you. The advice to parents, I think I'm an authority, one as a head teacher, as a trained teacher, and also as a parent, because at least I have my firstborn and secondborn, at least they have joined secondary. The message is we must appreciate COVID this period. It has affected our boys and girls, and majorly negatively.
Yes.
Because most of us, we did not have enough time to be with them. We are struggling to make life at the other end. But all the same, they remain our children. We cannot give them out. They remain ours. I call upon parents to become very vigilant and to be very supportive while dealing with the teachers. Let us not rely on the information we get from our sons and daughters. Let us always go to school and we'll verify with the school administration so that we can easily help our sons and daughters.
Okay. Thank you very much. It's been the Youth Talk Show. We'll get back here next Sunday on the same show with different students maybe and a different discussion. Otakaruga Voice of Kamwenge.
Chinana msanzu katonyezi mwenda Voice of Kamwenge Radio Engamba Marunyi.
nitutandika n'uburukasheshe kandi tuguma twine okuraba mu ihanga umwaba kandi no mu majingo ga nyikiro